don't know if I'll finish this in one session or not, but this is a busted up laptop of some kind, a Dell, and I can't even read the model. They obviously went into it to pull the hard drive or the memory. The memory's gone here. This is the kind of thing that I have found several times in our e-waste bin at the office, and you know, somebody obliterates these things before they take them down there. So we do have a 3.5 inch floppy drive on this one. Yeah, it looks like the hard drive was here and probably and is gone. So it could still be interesting. I don't know that there's anything of real import on this, but we will take whatever we can get out of it. Something there. And take those screws out, but those screws are already out. They did not get the hard drive on it. That's the hard drive right there. So we'll have to take that apart. They missed the thing that they most likely were the most important part that they were probably trying to find. This little port here, is there anything hiding here? There is. That looks like the battery. Yep, that's the battery pack for it. So again, this may have gold plating on the battery connectors here. Be extremely careful with these batteries. This one is completely dead, it looks like, but be very careful with them. They potentially can start, catch fire. So I'll deal with that later. Let's see here. I'm not pressed that. And I don't know exactly what it's pressing that to do. I'm not seeing anything else. I'm not even seeing a bunch of screws in this guy at the moment. Got a couple here on this back plate. We'll go ahead and get these guys out. So of course we'll have gold pins in these connectors here and this large one here, which I believe is the docking port connection. Like I said, these screws are gone. These across the front are gone. Don't see anything else there. Kind of want to find the guy, the person that's taking these apart and find out why they're being so brutal about it. Who hurt them? that loose. So that's just a piece of a little bit of shred now. No, that's stainless. So a portion of it, yeah, that's steel, that's ferrous, that's stainless. Okay. I do not see how. Oh, those are pinned in. But there's just one more screw in the back and they'll pop right off. So that's stainless. These guys are completely ferrous. Did they move at all? Oh. I don't know. I kind of like the way these look. I'm going to set them aside for Greeblies right now. Remember, Greeblies are things that look like they could be in science fiction universes. Not specifically Star Wars, but Star Wars is one of the most common ones. I've seen people do it with Star Trek as well, although the ones for Star Trek have to have a very, very clean look, ultra-modern look. Now, that's not to say that ones for Star Wars can't have a similar appearance, because the Empire, was very clean and everything was well serviced and maintained, and therefore, it had a very different look than the rest of the galaxy did, which could be very run down and dirty and everything else. My gosh, this thing is just falling apart. I don't know that this guy, whoever did this, I don't know that they necessarily were brutal with this thing as much as when they picked it up, this thing just fell apart. Plastic is brittle. And that's being generous, calling it brittle. Oh, there will be some behind the, there's our disk drive. There will be some screws in this general area behind this keyboard, most likely. Keyboard will have some silver mylars in it, most likely. Set that aside for now. This piece feels heavy. This is a chunk of aluminum here for the cooling. Yep, that's definitely aluminum. Okay, it's a nice little chunk of aluminum. This feels like it's aluminum too. I don't believe that stainless. Way to tell very quickly if it's stainless or not, and not aluminum. No sparks, aluminum. Sparks, stainless. So that's just a piece of pleated aluminum then. Okay, so that's got you guys out of the way. That's the rest of that. Got a couple little boards on the bottom here. This is an interesting one. I have to look at that label on the back and see if it's got a date on it. It was a very chunky laptop. I mean, this thing's about 1.5 inches thick. process, taking apart. This little, I'd say oh, there it is. There's the speaker. The speaker will go into Ferris. This plastic is just so brittle, it's pitiful. Every time I try to pull a piece of it off, it's just breaking. Okay. There's a couple little brass nubs and whatnot in here. It's actually a screw right there. So, we'll go in after that later. Oh, gosh. Oh, that's plastic. This is Ferris. Okay, so that can go there. This guy, it's got a couple little brass scrubs in it. We'll go after that later. Plastic, plastic, brass. Okay. Let's get into this guy now. Okay, what screws do we see here? I see no more screws here. I mean, seriously, I see no more screws. There's one there. I thought there was a screw still on my bit, so I can't put it in another screw yet. But I don't see any more screws here. Now what's nice to see is we got gold plating all through these boards. I just don't know how to get to them yet. That little board came off. This little piece of plastic covering. Oh, there's another one there. Got some gold pins there. That's where the disk drive plugged into. Oh, these brass standoffs are holding things together. Maybe we got one or two of those. Nope. Nothing proud again. Oh, there, that pulls off. Got a couple screws holding this guy in. We'll have gold plating in there most likely. I'm trying to be nice to this thing, and I don't know why I am, but screw there. There's another one back there behind that port drive. This is where that lock was. There it goes. there's the rest of that plastic. It's got a little bit of brass in that one, a little bit of brass in that one. I'll try and get to that later. Okay, that's peeling off. There's a screw right there. Pull the rest of that off. Okay. And this feels ferrous. Yep, that's all through. Ferrous. Okay, so here we have our boards, and we got some protective spacers here of some kind. Okay, you're not holding anything on. There's a screw there. I think this is an interesting laptop, even if it's being a little difficult to get to. I see nothing else in terms of screws holding anything on. Those guys must be holding something on. They just have a little bit different look than the other ones do. Okay, should be loose. Okay. Grabbing hold over the knob. Where's my 1/4 inch? 1/4 inch is too big. There we go. 6mm. Or rather, it was too big for the. I say that was a 1/4 inch. That might have been the 5mm. Like it was a 5mm. So this piece. Now off of here. It is barely reacting to my magnet there. It's holding. We'll call that ferrous. Be done with it. So now we got the board here. This board needs to come off. There it goes. We got a couple little standoffs here. Little tiny screw here. Blow this bit. Nope. Got some tiny little screws here to take off. A lot longer than I thought they'd be. Now these screws are holding this data port in, at least the that's the entire data port. And we had another chip hiding up under it. Nice. Where did I see those other little screws? Two here. And there should be two right here. Okay, and these I'm going to need two hands for because I need one hand for this. Those are not budging. Not budging. Okay, so what do we get on this board anyway? So we got a bunch of flat packs, nice big flat packs, some nice big chips as well, other chips and whatnot. Like I said, this board, everything that I see on this is flashed in gold, so that's nice. Gold connectors throughout, gold connectors back here, gold connectors up top here, gold connectors here, more gold flashing. That is likely the battery or a capacitor of some type. Some brass standoffs that I cannot seem to remove at the moment. More flat packs. Nice big Intel flat pack right there, in fact. So this looks like a very nice board in terms of laptop boards. Lots of gold flashing, lots of nice big heavy chips. Then we got the processor chip here. Don't know what kind this is, but it's a plated, you know, it's not a socketed pin. Actually, this feels like it's just a, that feels like probably, well, I say it feels like, but is it copper? That's very light. Yeah, that looks more like aluminum. Yep, I'm seeing silver, not salmon. There's our processor. A lot of little gold bond wires. You can actually see the gold bond wires on that. That's a nice little chip there with all those little gold connectors on it. Gold pins in here, of course. Gold plating on the back side as well. So nice little board there. This one, two nice big chips here. Gold pins in the connectors, another chip here. Can't see the flashing on that to really tell if it's anything. Probably copper. The tactile switchboard, got a couple tactile switches here. Plating on this is silver, not gold. So nice little board here. Got to clean it up a little bit. This board for the touchpad is gold plated on the back, a couple little chips, and I expect pulling off this. Oh yeah, gold flashing all on it. Nice. Not a huge amount, but still nice. This one, let's remove these plastic protectors off of it. Okay, there's those as out of the way. This all looks to be flashed in gold again. Gold pins in here. Not much on this board. Got a couple, a little tantalum capacitor or two on here, one little chip, a little bit of copper from the MOSFET and these rectifiers and whatnot. A couple more tantalums over here. Backside, more chips. It's actually populated pretty well. And then we got this little board. Let's get this plastic out of the way. Golly, this thing has got to be old. It's just so, the plastics in it are just so brittle. I have to see if I can find the label and see if there's a year on it. Actually, the hard drive may have a year on it as well. So nothing really on the back side of that board. Nice big flat pack, couple of little tantalums. Flashing, don't see anything, so it's probably copper again. These cables will probably have gold connectors on the ends. Same for this guy, we'll have gold pins in here. There you go, here's nice gold pins. These are actually pretty substantial pins too. So good gold recovery there. This board looks like it's got a little LCD screen on it here. I don't know where this board came from really. I don't remember seeing it. I have to look back at the video and see where it came from. But it's got a few little chips on it here. It's probably heading, given where it is, it's probably heading up towards the monitor. Probably gave an indication of, you know, battery supply or something like that. A little tactile switch on here. No plating to speak of, so probably copper again. They definitely put plastic protection all over this thing. I think that's all the pieces I got here. That guy, like I said, is aluminum. That big piece is aluminum. So I think that's it. Let's take a look at these drives real quick, see if they tell us anything. Made in Taiwan. Dell, blah, 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 blah. Got a model number there. So nothing on that, but that's 3.5-inch disk drive. Keyboard, again, like I said, this will be aluminum most likely. Yep. It should have silver mylars in here. I'll keep this separate and process it with the silver mylars when the time comes. That should give you an indication. Those are silver mylar flashings there. This little disk hard drive, it should have a date on it. Blah 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 blah. Made by IBM. Made in Hungary. May of '97. So this computer was most likely what 30 years old almost. 27 years old, 28 years old. Jeez. Okay, so that's it for that one. Have a good one, guys.